Shapely TV, we're the ones to see, bringing you fresh content through your media screens. I'm Aya, the host. We float by every coast to bring you hotness. Hope you enjoy the show.
Hi guys, welcome to Shapely TV. We have a special episode, and we're also here with
Toya from Maven.
We're doing a crossover episode because it's Women's History Month, and we have some lovely women we would like to feature. You guys can introduce yourselves, starting.
Hi, my name is Ashley, and I work here at Brushes and Berries. I'm an artist.
Hi, and my name is Pearline Link. I'm the owner.
And I'm Rakaya, Brushes and Berries, the manager.
You guys know I'm Aya at Shapely Events.
I'm Sharon at Shapely Events.
And again, I'm Toya at Raven Maven and Shapely Events.
Right. So we're gonna kick off this episode with starting with the fact that we came to you guys' venue through a mutual, Chris. And we loved it so much that we blogged about it, we shared the event, and we decided to come back. Realizing that you guys were a perfect fit for Shapely TV and Raven Maven, we decided to bring you on and discuss a few things. One of the things I would like to start with is accessibility for plus size people. And I mention this because there's so many times we go out and there's things that we worry about as far as spacing goes, and it really limits your options, I would say. So I would just like to say that when I came, I was comfortable, but on the crowd that we run with, we're kind of on like the smaller side. Okay. So one of my questions was, do you guys accommodate people of larger size, larger than us?
Yes, we do. If someone comes in and they're larger than us, we have special chairs. You can always pull up a chair from over there. I have the chairs, and I think they hold up to maybe like 700 pounds.
Oh, good.
Oh, wow.
I think it's like 700 pounds.
We're also going to be getting the metal chairs that actually have the seat connected to the legs, so that there's no issues with that.
Like breaking. Sometimes I worry when I go to places. I want to, be comfortable, and I'm like sitting real easy, or I have to push the table. But we try to accommodate people.
All right, drinking word of the day is business. So if you're over 21, and only if you're over 21, take a sip every time you hear the word business. And speaking of business, I'm going to let Toya introduce what Raven Maven is all about, and she have her set of questions to share.
Yes. So again, hi Shapely audience. Raven Maven is a show for Black people seeking to see ourselves doing the things that sometimes we don't think we can do. So on the show, what I try to do is feature Black business owners, Black artists, photographers. I've had so many different talented people, and now I'm here with you guys at Brushes and Berries, and I'm really excited to be here. So my first question is, how did you guys, what was the genesis of Brushes and Berries? How did the idea come to you? What made you start the business?
I always went with my friends. Every 3 months, me and my friends, we get together and we do something, whether it's go to the movies, go to dinner, go to a paint and sip. So the last few times we went to a paint and sip, I really enjoyed it, and I said, wow, I really could do this. Didn't know how I was going to do it, but I wanted to do it. So here I am today, a year later.
Wow. So you guys
I had the idea last January of 2019, and we started this business. We acquired this business in October.
Wow.
Beginning of October.
Has it been very challenging starting the business? What hurdles have you faced trying to get it off the ground?
Well, at first finding location, because I know location plays a big part in success. I chose this particular place because there's really nothing here in our surrounding areas. Well, we do have one, but it's not enough.
Okay.
It's not enough. And I chose this place here because everybody likes to go, but when we go from Bergen County, we have to go to Essex County, we have to go to Union County, and it's a ride. So why not have something like this here where we live at? So I wanted something with good location, and what better place better place than this is like, what better place is than a strip mall?
Right.
So we have Aldi's coming, that's gonna generate a lot of business. With the Aldi's coming, it's gonna be like about 120,000 customers per year.
Wow.
The financial advisor says, oh, you'll get 10%. Even if we get 5, we still do good.
Still up.
So,
Yeah, that's
you know,
really positive.
so it's about location, you know, it's
Yeah.
about location.
What advice would you give to someone who like would want to start their own business? Not necessarily this type of business model, but like just a business in general.
You have to have the vision, and you have to have dedication. So it was strictly dedication. I was just dedicated. I was saying to myself, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. This gotta happen. It's been plenty of nights that I cried because I didn't know how I was gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know, when was it gonna happen? Was it gonna happen for me? You know, so, but eventually it happened, and we're here. So.
In regards to how it happened, one of the biggest hurdles could be, especially for our community and things like that, is financing. Do you have any secrets, any tidbits, or how did this come about for Brushes and Berries to even exist?
So, this is like a long story. I mean, if you got a second, I can tell it.
We got time.
I work a day job. I still work. But when I went into what happened was I had a confrontation with another employee at my job. We went upstairs into my boss's office. It was like he heard one side. He didn't hear both sides. And the first thing he said to me is, Pearl, if you don't like the job, he looked out his window, he says, there's companies right there. You can pick any one of these jobs. And I said to myself, I said, wow, I've been here with you a long time.
Right.
You know, I'm saying this to myself. And you're telling me to go outside and find a minimum wage job? And at that point, something just clicked. I cried all day. I came home, I called my son down to my car, and I told him, I said, you know what, Mommy want to take the inheritance that you have and start a business, not for just me, for my kids. Because every day when I work for my kids. I don't want my kids to have to embrace the struggle that I've been through.
Right.
So I want to make it easier, not the easiest, but easier.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So that inspired me right there.
Right.
I said, I'm gonna do this. As soon as the money came in, boop, boop, we're here. You know? So it's like a family business. This is my daughter. My other son, he lives in a different state, but I explained to my daughter, at some point, Mommy's not gonna be here. You guys are gonna run this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it makes it better for the next generation, my grandkids. Because coming up, nobody in our family ever owned anything.
Yeah. To inherit something too.
Yeah. That's not
so
a familiar story.
we want to change that. We want to
Yes.
change that.
Mhm.
You know, we want to really change that. So my daughter's here. She does an excellent job.
Yeah.
Ashley does an excellent. You know, so we're here together. It's hard. Sometimes I'm tired, but I know that I'm married to this place at this time.
That's right. Rakaya, for you, what has been like the most challenging for you for like operating the business and then also like working with family?
Working with family isn't an issue. My mom, she's really cool with everything. Me and Ashley kinda make the decisions and then bring her in at the end. The most challenging, I think, is really just trying to spread the word, let the community know what we have to offer, and kinda get them in to support. Like,
Right.
I've noticed just being here, like the different audience we bring. Not what I expected,
Right.
but it's just like a shocker, like, wow, like, you know, you actually are interested. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges, just trying to promote the right way.
Right.
You know, like,
right. Touching the right.
Yes.
Because you have, the thing is like when you actually start the business, start operating, that's really when the learning begins because
Yes.
you start to see, like you said,
Yes.
you thought in your mind, like I have this particular audience in mind. Then you realize, wow, I have women and fathers with kids and the kids want to take part in
Yes.
this, and that's a different, you're going to talk to those customers differently than you're going
Yes.
to talk to the girls night out women who are like just want to look out for a place to hang out on a
Absolutely.
Friday night or whatnot. So I think that is very interesting. about business in general, because
Yeah.
people always think like, oh, it's gonna be this way in your head, but it really isn't.
It isn't.
So I want to touch on that because I had that same perception in Toya. And so it's like, but what's the numbers? Run the numbers. What does numbers say? What does the analytics say? And then it got to I don't want to say it was bad, but I was so misinformed that when I would go to events and stuff, I would bring mostly like women's stuff. And it's not until I finally listened to Toya and ran the numbers that, I realized that most of the visitors to the site and stuff are men. And I didn't bring shirts out because I was like, oh, men wouldn't purchase. You know what I'm saying? It's mostly women. But when I went to Atlanta, I would say a large bulk of the customers were men. Thank you, guys. Were men. And I was able to obtain so much collateral off of that. And they were buying. But just like she said, you go into it thinking like, oh, okay, so it's going to be women and women. It's not until you do the research and use the tools that are given to you that you realize, okay, so it's not that it's not women, but it is also
Male skewed. Yeah.
So then now instead of serving one audience, you're serving two or multiple in certain cases. So that was very important.
You're welcome.
So Ashley here is quite the artist. So much so that when I was here, I wanted to like draw a little line on it. And that's her little thing.
I had to deal with that. And, 3 kids.
That hate is real.
So yeah, Ashley, quite the artist. You touched on the fact that the demographic that you thought you was gonna have, you have that plus some, and I would like to touch on the fact that now with there being, they're eliminating more of like art programs in schools and things like that. How does that impact? Because one, I think that's what impacts people to walk in. And how does that impact, or does it bring you a sense of fulfillment to know that you can do that here, and that is something that if it's not missing, it's going away soon due to budget cuts and things like that?
No, I actually feel like, number one, this shop was perfect for the community. And I personally am going to school to be a teacher, so I felt like this was the perfect opportunity. I'm an artist, I'm going to school for education. I kind of merge everything together with this business, and it was just perfect. So far we are working on a children's program, so yeah, so we're trying to do everything. So we're not just a paint and sip company, we also teach kids, we also have private parties. So even yesterday we had a couple of children come in, and it was a good feeling just to know like I can be myself, I can work with kids. Just seeing their faces is
Light
just,
up, right?
it's
It's
like so
fulfilling.
overwhelming,
Yeah.
fulfilling, everything. So I think we could go even further with that, like partnering with schools, just something to do good for the community, you know?
Yeah.
So
That's really amazing to see, like, you have an idea and then you start to realize there's a lot more opportunities, and that to me is what makes a business strong, the fact that you can evolve your business and keep expanding upon it. Like I did that with Shapely Events. She found that there was opportunity with all her passions and then merged it all into our business, and she's done that successfully, and I feel like here you guys are going to have the same opportunity.
So let's talk about the turn up, right? Because we got the turn up queen next to me. And when we came, the first thing she said was, "I want to have my birthday party here. I want to have my birthday party here."
That's what I did.
So why did you share?
What was your? Well, I've been to other places in Brooklyn, and it's just a bigger space.
Okay.
It's a lot of more people. I think it's easier to pack with your friends to fill in like 25, 30 people than to fill in 60 people that the other establishments hold. But I loved the decorum, the paintings. She's wonderful. The girls are great. And you know, our friend brought us here, so I was so thankful.
Shout out
And it's
Chris.
just, yes, shout out to Chris and Elias. And it's just a beautiful place. The girls are nice. We ate, we spoke, we talked, cracked jokes. We got our little souvenirs to take home. It was really nice. So I do want to celebrate my birthday here.
Thank you.
Did you face any adversities, either in regard to your size or your color, you think, when you first started? or was the community support? From what I've seen from the time that I've been here, everybody was kind of supportive, but sometimes there's a lot of behind the scenes. Sometimes it's the issues with the banks or whatever the case may be. So was that a
issue? No, it was actually no issue. No issue. It was like everything was smooth.
Yeah.
No
It's meant to be.
problems. Because you know how sometimes they may say, "Oh no, we're gonna lease this to some."
Yeah.
No issues.
That's nice.
No.
Perfect timing.
It was meant
All
for
were
you.
really nice.
Yeah.
Like,
Everything.
no problems.
No problems
none.
at all. None.
Even like down to the inspections, like
It was-
they, and that's what I was saying, like I thought with us being, you know,
Color.
the way that, yes,
Yeah.
of color, that it would be
An issue.
an issue, like we would only get
It's sad they
certain
were
people.
conditioned that way too,
And
you know?
it wasn't. It was like so many different people were coming in, like even the parents to signing their kids up and just like, oh, okay, I can leave them here and go do what I'm gonna do and come back.
So they
like
feel
they're
safe.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Right.
So they feel safe.
Speaking of conditioning, when I first came, and you know, because we all have our stereotypes, we all have situations we've been in that kind of shape the way we think about certain things. And one of the sayings I'm known for trying to debunk or get out of our vocabulary is she's pretty for a fat girl, right? So when I first walked in, my first thing was like, wow, this is like amazing for a black business. And my thing is like, why did I say that, right? And it's because we have the connotation or sometimes or the expectation that if it's owned by us or for us, that is gonna have a lesser appeal. And I would like to say that that wasn't the case here, but I feel like we're not gonna drop that saying until there are more instances where we walk in and it's normalized that everything is classy and upscale.
Or not even that, I think it's more so that the way we go into another business or a product, and we know it's not owned by us, right? The same level of expectation that we have for that business, we should also have for our people who have their own business, but also respect them like you respect these brands that don't respect us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I feel like as black people, we hold our people to these standards that we don't even hold white-owned brands to. And I think it's very unfair, and I think it's makes us hypocritical. And I always just try, like, I don't think I'm new to black-owned business. I grew up in a family. My family had a catering business for over 10 years. We catered on the Cosby Show. We've done, like, celebrity weddings. Like, I'm not unfamiliar with entrepreneurship or black-owned business. I've always been exposed to it. I think that's why I'm the way I am, the way I think, you know? But I think I've always just been more empathetic to us because I know what we lack, the opportunity we lack, and the information that we don't have. So I always try to give the benefit of doubt with a black business if something wasn't right on the spot or something was missing, or I give feedback. And not in a nasty way. Why we gotta be nasty to each other? So, you know, I'm talking to y'all. When you go into a black-owned business, you know, talk to them nice, like you talk to everybody else nice. You know, treat us the way that how you wanna be treated. If you see something's a little off, you don't have to be nasty. You can say it in a positive way. You know.
That's right.
As it is Women's History Month, can you each share anybody you admire, look up to? It doesn't have to be anybody famous. It could be the lady that works at the Wawa down the street and she's nice, or it's something that has impacted your life or a situation to where you felt like, wow, and the feeling came from somebody who's famous.
Well, I guess I'll start. First, I want to say any woman that does her thing, is working, grinding to take care of their family, deserves all the respect, you know? Like, yeah, seriously. Any woman. And of course, like, to touch on being an African-American woman, I'm Caribbean, so I'm used to, like, women in my family going hard, you know, just to support their family. And recently, probably like the past year, I started, like, working so much. Like, I'm an artist, but for some reason, I like to keep like a regular job on the side just to keep me grounded. So I know you guys know. Once I leave this shop, I'm on to another job, overnights, the whole nine. So just that experience made me understand like what my mom goes through or what any other woman goes through to, you know, feed their family. I don't have kids, but
Right.
I'm working as if I do have a family to support.
Me
So
too,
it kind of
child.
gave me the sense like I understand now how it feels to get no sleep, but you still got to make sure that you wake up
Yes.
to keep working.
Shorty
So
said get no sleep, but make sure
yeah.
you wake up. If that ain't the struggle, I don't know what it is. That's
I would leave a job.
I work overnight, so I know what you're talking about. I be like,
no
wake
week It's really hard. So I respect any woman that does that, you know. So
And me, well, I have to say my mom.
and yourself.
My,
Yourself, sis.
Yourself.
but I owe it all to my mom because she was just strong, raising 10 kids. Bilal, his brothers, and
He talks about
It
you
was-
guys all the time.
it was like we didn't really have a lot. We didn't have what we wanted, but she made sure we had what we needed.
What you needed.
Can I?
So
Can
That's a
I?
good
I'm
point.
gonna share a story, and if my voice crackles, he probably doesn't want me to share it. But when we were in Ocean City, you know, listening to his story, I'm not gonna go too deep into it because I don't want to share his business. I was basically asking him, like, did you miss certain aspects of like your life, being that this is the circumstances you face? And what he said to me was, no, not really, because what you guys were able to provide for him. It gave him that sense of fulfillment.
Yes.
And I'm sorry if I'm
We
getting
need some
emotional,
tissue.
but I think that says a lot, considering that we lose so many people, and they get lost. So if you guys were able to come together and provide that and made him who he is, I salute you guys.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you.
He's awesome.
Take our community.
Yeah.
We were always, we didn't have a lot,
Right.
but we had family. We had each other, you know, and that means a lot. And it was like one woman that kept us together. Was my mom was like really, really strong. You know, she would feed the neighborhood.
Wow.
I mean, you know, right below, she would feed the neighborhood. She would, you know, she was just, it's like, a lot of my strength is from her.
From her.
And I try to like pass it on to my daughter. And I want my daughter to pass. Like, we have to stay strong.
Yeah.
Strength is everything.
Yes.
You gotta start now.
Yes,
We didn't
now.
have it before.
We
but
didn't have
start
it.
And
now.
breaking cycles.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and breaking the
Yes.
cycle.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that we can do it, knowing that it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times we say to ourselves, "Oh, I can't do it. Yeah, I don't got." You know, but you have to. You have to be determined. Determination is everything.
Agreed.
Because
And
that's
if
the
you don't have
resilience.
determination, you have nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so I try to stay humble.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always grateful. I mean, I'm the type of person that'll talk to the whole neighborhood. I talk to.
Me too.
Oh, God. If I was the rock for mayor, it'd be a landslide.
Carl for mayor. 2021.
And sometimes I say to my daughter, I said, "Oh, what's their name? I forgot that." But everybody know, like I
Know you, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Know her so bad that she be like, oh, I don't know that.
We just had a whole conversation.
I talk to everybody because I feel like it costs nothing
Yes.
to be nice and kind to people.
Yes. And that moment, you never know, could change someone's life.
Yeah.
You never know,
Yeah.
like, just that one moment kind of is how it could, like, really stop someone from killing themselves or rethinking a bad decision.
That's right.
It's
You
true.
never
Yeah.
know what
Isn't that-
anyone is going through.
Isn't that what I said? You guys had a visitor who and you said, "Oh, it's just a neighborhood kid," and I was in my head, I'm like, you know, I'm glad that he'll pop in here before he pop in somebody's window. You know what I'm saying? It's true. That's what you know. That's what happens at
Oh, I
times.
was
You
telling
know?
him this problem.
Yeah, and we need that. The community needs that.
So we try to uplift everybody.
Yeah.
You know, like let them know, hey, it's possible. I told my daughter, oh my God, I can see her now in 10 years owning 5 shops.
Bossed up.
Yeah. Bossed up.
Making all the glasses.
Getting rid of the Ford Focus and
Definitely.
Just pick me up, sis. Just pick- I need a ride.
And you?
Definitely my mom, like for sure. It wasn't easy. I mean, we've come a long way. I mean, like a candy store in our dining room, my mom in the kitchen cooking, like whatever it took, she made it happen. So like today, and like I was telling Ashley, like I don't paint, I do more of the crafting, but when my mom came to me with the idea of opening the paint and sip, I said, who can I find that, I know will help me and really be meaningful to this shop the way that I am? Who's better than Ashley?
Yeah.
And when I brought her in and I was able to like kind of give my mom some relief, but just seeing her come in here and being so happy, knowing that we don't have to struggle the way that we used to, is like an amazing thing. Like we've come so far, like so far.
That's right.
And like, I just want her to know, like, like eventually
Yes.
you won't have to worry. Like I have 2 kids, my daughter 8 and 3. And like they're like, mommy, can we go and work at the shop? Like, and outside of the shop, me just doing my own craft, like inspiration came from my mom.
Right.
Like seeing her go out every day and just doing whatever she needed to do to make sure we had. Still to this day, I don't even live with my mom, but I call her Ma. She's there, no questions about it. So it's like we don't always see eye to eye.
Best parents and children.
Because like I said, when it used to be a time where I didn't have a job.
Right.
My youngest son, he was born hearing impaired. So that took a lot. It took a lot away from everything. I had to be a mom first.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, okay, I don't have money. I have 3 children. I had to take this kid to school every day to learn sign language because this is his only way of communication.
Wow.
So you know what I did? I told the kids, I said, we're gonna open up our own store. I opened up a candy store in the back of my window.
Okay.
I lived in a complex. The kids would come and buy freeze pops, and then I started selling fish and chicken, and right, we had hot dogs. We had a whole.
And our store was like
And
the
my
top.
daughter was. I taught them since they were. My son was security.
He's like, don't pull up, bro.
My son was security. My daughter was the cashier. So. I started young with them, but I had to do what I had to do because I wanted to make sure my kids had what they needed. Not what they wanted, but what they needed.
And the skills to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
So she been the cashier since she was 7. Yeah, she was a cashier.
How the drawer been looking? So thanks for sharing you guys' story. It's such a heartfelt story. I definitely think that you find solace in knowing that now when your boss points to those 20 businesses, one of them are yours. That's how you level up. Exactly. No Gucci belt. No. That's how you got our own business. So that's really how you level up. So our next segment is events that we're looking forward to. So we always discuss events that we're looking forward to. One of them, we're going in June to Kirby Ventures Bash in Florida. That's the one Sharon invited you guys to. It's gonna be a good time. Miami, sun, fun, everything like that.
Yes.
And Miss Raven Maven?
So, Raven Maven season 4 will air in April. I don't have a date yet, but it's coming in April. So please follow us at Raven Maven Show on Instagram, or you can follow us on Facebook as well. Look for Raven Maven, and just stay tuned for our new season coming very soon.
Dude, we gonna close you guys out. I don't know if y'all hiding from the fuzz or anything like that. Some people don't like to share their handles. Yeah, so you can find us at Shapely Events, shapelyevents.com, Twitter, Facebook.
We everywhere, B.
Yeah, we Brushes, plug your
Brushes.berries on Instagram. We're also on Facebook. You can check us out on our website, www.brushesandberries.com.
Or you could just come here.
Yes.
All right? You can just come here.
Right across the village.
But don't let Ashley paint with you, bro.
Your feelings hurt. So, and we're from New York City. From Queens, it took us half an hour.
Yeah, so
it's not that far.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me half an hour to get to
We're in
Brooklyn.
Bergenfield,
And I don't even
New
be all the way
Jersey.
in Brooklyn.
Yeah, 491.
Right,
Yeah.
491 South Washington Avenue, right here in Foster Village, next to the liquor store and the pizza store.
Oh,
So you get your drink on and a snack.
pull up.
Unless you opt for the seafood rice, you know.
Real quick, that seafood rice though.
Yes.
So changed my life. So good.
Love it.
I'm so
Shorty
happy.
threw her whole keto out there.
The keto is off.
Oh,
She did it for you, right?
yeah, she did it for me.
Oh, and along with the brushes and berries, Instagram and website, you can follow me at Ash2Art.
That's right.
That's my personal art page. You can check out some of my artwork and then come in after you do that and I can help you paint.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. And there's gonna be some snippets of her artwork right around now. The power of editing, right? Right around now. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Toya, for choosing to have this joint venture. This was a great idea. Cause seriously, I was gonna be like, okay, we just interviewed her twice and she switched her t-shirt. But this was so much better. And thank you guys for being so raw and open, and emotions and reactions like this is why I tend to tell people to hold on and save it, because those type of feelings you really can't recreate. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, let us know. Don't forget to like, follow, share,
Subscribe
Don't
to our
stop.
YouTube.
Right.
Yes.
Stop by.
And yeah, Brunch and Berries. And then after Brunch and Berries, you can go to the Shapely shop and purchase a nice Rocky Rose t-shirt
Okay.
or a thick chick hoodie. All right, and that's a wrap.
Thank you.